writers, readers, storytellers, listeners. Welcome to another episode of I'll Read That, the show where your stories get heard. Whether you're an unpublished author, a self-published independent, a poet, a screenwriter, or just someone with a tale to tell, this is your place to shine. In each of these episodes, I'll read your stories aloud, giving you a voice and a platform for you to hear your story through your reader's perspective. And more importantly, give you as an author a chance to grow. You'll get feedback from other writers, readers, listeners, and it'll help you continue your craft and take your story to that next level. So if you've been waiting for someone to just gung-ho want to read your story, I would love to, and I think you found the place. So please submit your story, get it heard, and let's grow this together. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I want to hear what you have to write. So we're going to continue on a journey together. This is my story entitled Toby. Chapter 5, Shelter Life. Lily had been nervous all day as she thought about the visit to the couple's home. They had arranged the meeting after seeing the flyer at the rescue shelter, and according to Kathy, the couple had been excited about the possibility of adopting Tabitha. They lived in a quiet neighborhood with a spacious backyard, a perfect environment for a growing puppy like Tabitha. They even had an older dog, a Labrador named Spunky, who they said was well behaved and would make a great companion for the young pup. When Lily, her mom, and Kathy arrived at the couple's house that afternoon, Lily's heart was racing. She held Tabitha tightly in her arms, the small puppy squirming with excitement. The house itself was charming, with a large front yard dotted with flowers and a picket fence. The couple, warm and welcoming, greeted them with smiles. They introduced themselves as Edith and Alex, a gentle, kind-hearted couple who immediately bent down to greet Tabitha, showering her with affection. "This is Spunky," Edith said, motioning to the large Labrador lounging on the porch. Spunky was an older dog with a sleek black coat and a few gray whiskers around his muzzle. He had the calm, seasoned look of a dog who had seen it all, his amber eyes wise and steady as he watched the commotion around him. Lily glanced at Tabitha and then at Spunky, hoping for a smooth introduction. Kathy had explained that older dogs often took time to adjust to younger pups, but she remained optimistic. Tabitha, completely unaware of the significance of the moment, wiggled in Lily's arms, eager to meet her new friend. As soon as Lily set Tabitha down, the tiny puppy bounded toward Spunky, her tail wagging furiously. She was all energy and playfulness, pawing at the large Labrador in an attempt to engage him. Spunky lifted his head and sniffed her cautiously, his demeanor calm and composed. For a brief moment, Lily thought everything might go smoothly. But then, Spunky's tail stiffened and his body tensed. He growled low, a deep, guttural sound that sent a shiver down Lily's spine. Tabitha, still playful and clueless, continued to bat at him with her small paws. Spunky growled again, louder this time, and his ears flattened against his head. The playful barks that had filled the yard just moments ago turned into anxious silence as everyone watched Spunky's reaction. Edith quickly moved to calm her dog, placing a gentle hand on his bank. "Spunky, it's okay," she said softly, but her voice carried a note of worry. Alex exchanged a nervous glance with her, clearly uneasy about the situation. Tabitha, sensing the shift in mood, backed off slightly. But she still seemed eager to play. She yipped and bounced around Spunky, trying to coax him into joining her in her puppy antics. But Spunky was having none of it. He let out another growl, this time snapping his teeth in Tabitha's direction. It wasn't a bite, but it was enough to make Lily's heart skip a beat. Lily's mom stepped forward, her brow furrowed with concern. "Maybe he just needs some time," she suggested, though her voice lacked conviction. It was clear Spunky wasn't taking to Tabitha as easily as they had hoped. Kathy, ever the professional, stepped in, trying to ease the tension. "Older dogs sometimes need a little more time to adjust to the energy of a puppy," she said gently. "But we also need to make sure everyone is comfortable. We don't want to put too much stress on Spunky." Edith nodded. Her smile faltered slightly as she watched Spunky continue to growl at the playful pup. "We really wanted this to work," she said, a note of disappointment in her voice. But it's clear Spunky isn't happy. He's never been around a puppy before, and I don't think he's adjusting well. Alex sighed, scratching the back of his head. He's a good dog, he said. But he's getting older, and maybe it's just too much for him. Lily's heart sank. She had been so hopeful that this would be the perfect home for Tabitha. Alex and Edith had adored her, and the house seemed like a dream for any dog, but as she looked at Spunky, still tense and clearly uncomfortable, she knew it wasn't meant to be. Kathy, ever the mediator, stepped forward again. I understand, she said kindly. It's important that Spunky feels comfortable in his own home. And while it's disappointing, it's better to realize now that this isn't the right fit than to force it. Lily's mom nodded in agreement, though Lily could see the disappointment in her eyes too. Thank you for meeting with us, she said to Edith and Alex. We understand Tabitha will find the right home eventually. Edith knelt down and gave Tabitha one last gentle pat. She's such a sweet puppy, she said softly. I'm sure she'll find a wonderful family soon. As they made their way back to the car, Lily cradled Tabitha in her arms, her heart heavy. Tabitha, oblivious to the emotional weight of the situation, licked Lily's face, her little tail wagging as if nothing had happened. Lily couldn't help but smile through her sadness. When they got home, Kathy sat down with Lily and her mom at the kitchen table. There's still hope, she began. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've spoken with some of the team at the shelter. If you're willing, we can take Tabitha into our care full time. We have a network of foster homes, and she'll be placed with an experienced foster family who are equipped to care for puppies like her. We also have adoption events where she'll meet potential families, and her chances of finding a loving home will be much higher. Lily listened intently, her emotions swirling. She had grown so attached to Tabitha in the short time they had been together, and the thought of letting her go was almost unbearable. But deep down, she knew Kathy was right. Tabitha deserved the best chance at finding a forever home, and if the shelter could provide that, it might be the best thing for her. After a long pause, Lily finally nodded. If it's what's best for her, she said, her voice barely above a whisper, I want her to have the best chance. Kathy smiled warmly, reaching across the table to give Lily's hand a comforting squeeze. You're doing the right thing, Lily, and I promise we'll find her the perfect home. The days leading up to Tabitha's transition to the animal rescue organization were filled with a whirlwind of emotions. Lily and her mother had worked tirelessly to find the best possible solution for Tabitha, and it seemed like their efforts were finally paying off. Toby, ever the loyal friend, stayed close to Tabitha, offering her comfort and companionship as they prepared for this new chapter in her life. The morning of the transfer was chilly and the air filled with the crispness of late autumn. Lily and her mother carefully loaded Tabitha into the car, her tiny body wrapped in a cozy blanket. Toby sat beside her, his eyes filled with concern and loyalty. He occasionally nudged Tabitha, offering one last nuzzle of reassurance as they drove through the quiet streets toward Safe Haven Animal Rescue. Lily stared out the window, her thoughts a jumble of hope and anxiety. The drive felt longer than it actually was, and she found herself lost in memories of the short time Tabitha had been with them. From the first moment she had seen Tabitha huddled alongside Toby, she had felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility. Now, as they approached the shelter, that sense of responsibility was mixed with the heartache of leaving Tabitha in someone else's care. The car pulled up to the front of the shelter, a modest building with a welcoming sign and vibrant garden. The shelter exterior was adorned with colorful murals depicting happy animals, a stark contrast to the knot in Lily's stomach. As they stepped out of the car, Lily glanced at Toby, who was now sitting quietly, his tail wagging with a mixture of curiosity and concern. Amanda, the shelter's coordinator, greeted them warmly. Hello, Lily, and welcome, she said with a comforting smile. Thank you for bringing Tabitha to us. We're so glad we can help her find a loving home. Lily's eyes were full with a mix of hope and concern. Thank you for taking her in. She's been through a lot, and Toby and I just want to make sure she's safe and happy. Amanda nodded, her understanding evident. We'll take good care of her, I promise. We'll make sure she gets make sure she gets thorough checkups and is placed with a loving foster family while we work on finding her a permanent home. Lily carefully carried Tabitha inside, with Toby following closely behind. The shelter's interior was warm and inviting, filled with the sound of playful barks and meows. The walls were painted in bright, cheerful colors, and the kennels were well maintained, each one equipped with a cozy bedding and toys. Amanda Jimenez had always been passionate about animals from a young age. She was known among her friends and family for her deep empathy and concern for the well-being of all creatures. Growing up in a small town in Northern California, Amanda's childhood was filled with the menagerie of pets and a strong sense of responsibility toward them. Her parents, Rick and Maria Jimenez, supported her love for animals, often finding stray dogs and abandoned cats brought home by their compassionate daughter. Amanda's pivotal moment came during her teenage years when she volunteered at a local animal shelter. The shelter was small and uncrowded, struggling to provide adequate care for the influx of abandoned and abused animals. It was there that Amanda witnessed the harsh reality of animal rescue work, the limited resources, the overcrowded cages, and the heartbreaking stories of animals in desperate need of help. She was moved by the dedication of the shelter staff, but also disheartened by the constraints they faced. After graduating high school, Amanda pursued a degree in veterinary medicine at a nearby university. Her goal was to gain the skills and knowledge necessary to make a real difference in the lives of animals. During her studies, she continued to volunteer at various animal shelters and rescue organizations, gaining invaluable experience and insight into the challenges of animal welfare. Upon graduating, Amanda worked for several years as a veterinarian, honing her skills and building a reputation for her compassionate care. Despite her professional success, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. She wanted to create a place where animals in need could receive not just medical attention, but also a loving environment that would prepare them for a second chance at life. In her mid-20s, Amanda decided to take a leap of faith. She used her savings, which she had diligently set aside over the years, to purchase a small property on the outskirts of a bustling city in California. The property was a modest ranch with enough land to house a few animal enclosures, a small office, and a veterinary clinic. Amanda named the new organization Safe Haven Animal Rescue, reflecting her vision of creating a sanctuary where animals could find safety, care, and ultimately a loving home. The early days of Safe Haven were challenging. Amanda worked tirelessly to set up the facility, designing the layout, purchasing equipment, and recruiting volunteers. She reached out to local businesses, animal lovers, and former colleagues for support, and the response was heartening. Donations started coming in, and volunteers began to lend their time and skills to help build the foundation of the organization. One of Amanda's primary goals was to provide a holistic approach to animal rescue. Safe Haven was not just a shelter, it was a place where animals received medical care, behavioral training, and socialization to prepare them for adoption. Amanda implemented programs that focused on rehabilitating animals with special needs, offering them the care and attention they needed to become adoptable. Amanda's dedication and passion quickly became evident to the community. The local media covered the launch of Safe Haven, and the story of Amanda's commitment to animal welfare resonated with many. Support from the community grew, with the individuals and businesses contributing to the cause. Safe Haven began to make a tangible impact, rescuing animals from dire situations and helping them find new homes. As the organization grew, Amanda faced new challenges in managing a larger facility, coordinating with a large team of staff and volunteers, and ensuring the continued financial stability of Safe Haven required constant effort. Amanda worked long hours, often spending her evenings and weekends at the rescue center, ensuring that every animal received the care they deserved. Despite the hardship, her commitment never wavered. She was driven by the belief that every animal deserved a second chance and that Safe Haven was a place where that chance could be realized. Over time, Safe Haven became a well-respected name in the animal welfare community. Amanda's leadership and the organization's success in finding loving homes for animals garnered praise from various quarters. The facility expanded to include more enclosures, a larger veterinary clinic, and additional training rooms. Amanda continued to innovate, introducing programs aimed at educating the public about responsible pet ownership and advocating for animal rights. Throughout her journey, Amanda remained deeply involved in every aspect of Safe Haven. She knew each animal by name and was personally invested in their stories. Her empathy and dedication inspired everyone around her, from the volunteers to the families who adopted animals from the rescue to the families who adopted animals from the rescue. Amanda's vision had become a reality, and Safe Haven Animal Rescue had grown into a beacon of hope for countless animals in need. As Safe Haven celebrated its milestone anniversaries, Amanda reflected on her journey with pride and gratitude. She knew that the success of Safe Haven was not just about the numbers of animals rescued and adopted, but about the countless lives touched by the organization's work. Amanda's dream of creating sanctuary for animals had evolved into a thriving rescue operation, and she remained committed to her mission of providing safety, care, and love to every animal that crossed Safe Haven's threshold. Tabitha seemed a bit overwhelmed by the new surroundings. Her tiny body trembling slightly, Lily gently placed her in one of the comfortable kennels that had been prepared for her. Amanda and her team quickly began their work, conducting a thorough examination to ensure Tabitha's health and well-being. Lily watched with a mix of anxiety and hope as Amanda gently examined Tabitha. The little puppy's fur was thin, but she appeared to be in good health overall. Amanda carefully cleaned her ears, checked her teeth, and felt her tiny body for any signs of injury or illness. Tabitha whimpered occasionally, but she seemed to trust Amanda's gentle touch. As Amanda worked, Lily and Toby waited outside the kennel, their hearts heavy with concern. Toby's tail wagged anxiously as he looked up at Lily, sensing her distress. Lily reached down and stroked Toby's fur, grateful for his presence. "It's going to be okay, Toby," she whispered. "Tabitha's in good hands now." After the examination, Amanda approached Lily with a reassuring smile. "Tabitha seems to be in good overall health, though she is a bit underweight. We'll provide her with nutritious meals and monitor her progress closely. Our foster families are wonderful, and we're confident she'll find a loving home soon." Lily nodded, her heart still heavy but filled with a glimmer of hope. "Thank you so much. I know Tabitha's in good hands." Amanda led Lily and Toby to the shelter's adoption center, where potential adopters would come to meet and learn about the animals available for adoption. The center was a bright open space with comfortable seating and information boards showcasing the animals in their care. Lily could see that it was a well-organized and compassionate environment designed to help animals find their forever homes. As Lily and Toby said their goodbyes, Lily felt a mixture of sadness and relief. She knew she had done everything she could to help Tabitha, and now it was up to the shelter to find her a new family. Toby nuzzled Lily's hand, sensing her emotion and offering his silent support. Lily and her mother spent a few more minutes in the adoption center, talking to Amanda about the shelter's operation and the process for finding a home for Tabitha. Amanda explained that Tabitha would be placed in a temporary foster home where she would receive the care and attention she needed. They also discussed the shelter's various outreach efforts, including the community events and partnerships with local veterinarians. As they prepared to leave, Lily couldn't help but glance back at Tabitha's kennel, feeling a pang of sadness. She watched as Amanda and her team gently settled Tabitha into her new temporary space, making sure she was comfortable and had everything she needed. As they prepared to leave, Toby's excitement had shifted to confusion. He stood near Tabitha's kennel, his tail wagging uncertainly, his ears pricked forward as if trying to understand why they were abandoning the small puppy he had grown so fond of. A soft whimper escaped his throat, his eyes darting between Lily and Tabitha, unable to reconcile the reality of the situation. He let out a series of soft, questioning barks, trying to communicate his concern and sadness, as if urging Lily not to forget the tiny, fragile puppy he had come to care for so deeply. Lily's heart ached as she heard Toby's cries. She crouched down beside him, gently scratching behind his ears, hoping to provide him with some comfort. "It's okay, Toby," she whispered soothingly, her voice trembling slightly. "Tabitha's going to be safe here. Amanda and her team are going to take really good care of her." Her mother, standing close by, also bent down to offer support, her hand resting gently on Toby's back. "It's hard to say goodbye, isn't it, Toby?" Lily's mom said softly, her voice full of empathy. "We've done a good thing today, though. Tabitha's going to have a chance to find her forever home. This is just the first step, and it's going to help her so much." The emotional weight of the moment was palpable, and Lily's mom's voice caught in her throat as she spoke, her own feelings mirroring Lily's. They shared a glance, both feeling the sting of parting from the small, vulnerable puppy who had touched their hearts. Lily took a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. She knew that the decision to leave Tabitha was the right one, even if it was difficult. "We're doing this for her, Toby," she said, her voice filled with determination. "She needs this chance, and we have to trust that Amanda and her team will find her a loving home. We'll be back to check on her, and you can be proud of how brave you've been." With gentle encouragement, Lily and her mom guided Toby toward the door. They continued to speak softly, explaining that while it was hard to leave Tabitha, they were hopeful for her future. Toby, though still unsure, seemed to settle down a little, reassured by the calm and loving words from his family. As they exited the building, Lily and her mother shared one last look at Tabitha's kennel, a mixture of sadness and hope in their eyes. They were leaving with a sense of accomplishment, knowing they had made a positive impact, but also feeling the weight of the emotional goodbye. The drive back home was quiet, the atmosphere in the car somber. Lily and her mother spoke softly, reflecting on the challenges they had faced and the positive impact they had made. Toby sat between them, his presence a comforting constant. When they arrived home, the house felt strangely empty without Tabitha's presence. Lily and her mother went through their usual routines, but the absence of the little puppy was palpable. Lily found herself constantly glancing toward the spot where Tabitha used to sleep, her heart aching with emptiness. Over the next few days, Lily and her mother continued their routine while keeping a hopeful eye on the shelter's updates. They received occasional news about Tabitha's progress, learning that she was adjusting well to her new environment and beginning to regain her strength. The shelter updates were always accompanied by photos of Tabitha looking more vibrant and content with each passing day. One evening, Lily received an email from Amanda with a heartfelt message and an update on Tabitha. The email included a photo of Tabitha playing with a new toy in her foster home, her coat now clean and shiny. Lily's heart swelled with joy at the sight of Tabitha's transformation. Dear Lily, I wanted to take a moment to update you on Tabitha's journey since her transition to her foster home. I'm thrilled to share that she has adjusted remarkably well, and it's beginning to blossom in her new environment. Tabitha is now in the care of a wonderful foster family who have embraced her with open arms. They've been showering her with the affection and attention, making sure she feels safe and loved. From the moment she arrived, Tabitha has been surrounded by warmth and kindness, and it's evident that she is starting to thrive. Her little personality is starting to shine, and it's heartwarming to see her playful side emerge. The foster family has been diligently following the care instruction we provided, and they report that Tabitha is settling into a routine quite comfortably. She's eating well, and her energy levels are steadily improving. Her new family has been giving her plenty of playtime and affection, and it's wonderful to hear she's responding positively to their love and care. While we are still on the lookout for a permanent home for Tabitha, we are optimistic that she will find the perfect family soon. For now, she's in an environment that is both nurturing and supportive, which is exactly what she needs as she continues to recover and grow. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks for everything you've done for Tabitha. Your compassion and dedication have made an incredible difference in her life. The care and love you showed her during those critical early days have set her on the path toward a bright future. Your commitment to helping her find safety and comfort is truly commendable. If you ever wish to visit Tabitha or have any questions about her progress, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would be more than happy to provide updates or arrange a visit so you can see firsthand how well she's doing. Thank you once again for your unwavering support and for making such a positive impact on Tabitha's life. We're grateful for your involvement and look forward to continuing this journey together. Warmest regards, Amanda. Lily shared the email with her mother and Toby, and they felt a renewed sense of relief and happiness. Toby wagged his tail, sensing their joy, and nuzzled up to Lily as they talked about Tabitha's progress. The following weekend, Lily and her mother attended a local community event organized by the shelter. The event featured a pet adoption fair where families could meet animals available for adoption and learn more about the shelter's programs. Lily and Toby wandered through the various booths, speaking with other animal lovers and learning more about the shelter's work. As they approached the adoption area, Lily's eyes scanned the crowd of potential adopters. It was then that she spotted a familiar face. Alex and Edith, a young couple who had recently inquired about adopting the puppy. Their faces lit up with recognition as they saw Lily, and Lily felt a fluttering of hope in her chest. She remembered their initial inquiry at the shelter and was hopeful that they might be a perfect match for Tabitha. Lily and her mother approached the couple with a warm smile. Hi, Alex and Edith. It's great to see you again. I know you've been keeping up with Tabitha's progress, and we're hopeful that today might be the day she finds her forever home. Alex and Edith greeted Lily and her mother with a genuine warmth. Edith's eyes sparkled with anticipation as she spoke. Yes, we've been following Tabitha's story closely. We've been so eager to see her again. We've been checking her updates online and with the shelter. Alex added, We've been through quite a journey trying to find the right dog. We've looked at several rescues, but Spunky, our Labrador, who's getting quite old, has been very set in his ways. He hasn't been receptive to welcoming a new friend into his life. It's been challenging. Lily listened attentively. She had seen how dedicated Alex and Edith were from their previous interaction. They spoke about their preparations to ensure a smooth transition for a new dog and their excitement about potentially adopting Tabitha. The couple had created a warm and inviting space in their home filled with cozy bedding, toys, and plenty of love, eagerly awaiting for the arrival of a new furry family member. Edith shared their past experience with pets, highlighting the joy their previous dogs had brought into their lives. She talked about how much they missed having multiple dogs and how they had been waiting for the right opportunity to bring a new pet into their home. Alex mentioned that despite their best efforts with other dogs, Spunky, reluctant to accept a new companion, had had led them to look for other matches. Edith explained how they had been preparing for the arrival of a new dog by making adjustments to their home. They had set up. Oh, sorry, that's a repeat. As Lily listened to their story, she felt a surge of hope and excitement for them. It was clear that Alex and Edith had genuine affection for and a deep commitment to providing a wonderful home for a deserving dog. Their enthusiasm was contagious, and Lily could see how much thought and care they had put into preparing for this new chapter in their lives. The couple's genuine care and commitment to finding the right dog for their family was evident. Lily and her mother felt reassured by their decision and were hopeful that Tabitha would find a family like theirs. The meeting was filled with positive energy, and it was clear that Alex and Edith had the best intentions for a new pet and family member. As they concluded their discussion, Lily and their mother felt a deep sense of optimism. It was heartwarming to see how Alex and Edith had been so invested in following Tabitha's progress, and how excited they were about the possibility of bringing a new dog into their lives. The entire experience was marked by a sense of connection and hope, making Lily confident that Tabitha's future was looking brighter than ever. If there were people like Alex and Edith in the world, she was going to be okay. Later that day, Lily and her mother had the opportunity to visit Tabitha's foster home. The visit was emotional, but heartwarming. As they approached the house, Toby's ears perked up, sensing something familiar. When Tabitha emerged from the backyard, her eyes lighting up at the sight of Lily and Toby, Toby's tail wagged furiously. He bounded toward her, his excitement palpable. Tabitha's response was just as enthusiastic. She sprinted toward Toby, her little body wiggling with joy. They met in a flurry of happy barks and playful nuzzles. Toby's heart swelled with relief and affection as he reunited with the little puppy he had come to care for deeply. He licked Tabitha's face with a mix of excitement and tenderness, making sure she knew how much he had missed her. The foster family welcomed Lily and her mother warmly, sharing their experiences with Tabitha. They explained how well she had adapted to her new environment, enjoying the company of their children and the space of the yard. Lily felt a surge of happiness seeing Tabitha so content and well cared for, and Toby's joyful reunion with Tabitha added a beautiful touch to the visit. The atmosphere was filled with warmth and positive energy as they all celebrated the progress Tabitha had made, knowing that she was in good hands. As Lily and her mother said their goodbyes, they felt a profound sense of gratitude and satisfaction. They knew that Tabitha was in good hands and that she had a bright future ahead of her. The experience had deepened Lily's appreciation for the bond between humans and animals and reinforced her commitment to helping those in need. Returning home, Lily and Toby felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey they had undertaken to help Tabitha had been challenging, but it had also been rewarding. The bond between Lily, Toby, and Tabitha had been strengthened by their shared experiences, and they looked forward to the next chapter of their lives with hope and optimism. As night fell, Lily and Toby settled into their cozy home, their hearts filled with contentment. They had navigated the challenges of rescuing Tabitha with love and perseverance, and now they looked forward to the future, knowing that they had made a meaningful impact on a little puppy's journey to a better life. And that is the end of that chapter. Thank you so much again for taking this journey with me so far. If you have a story that's just waiting to be read, I want to read it. Send me those unpublished or self-published works to the email address in the description below, and you might be the next featured author in an episode of I'll Read That. Let's build this community together. Writers supporting writers, readers supporting new authors, and giving everybody an opportunity to have their story heard. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop those comments in the boxes because your feedback could really help another writer kind of get over that hurdle that they have. So as always, keep writing, and remember, I'll read that.